September 9th edition of Vikings Update today. We talk later with head volleyball coach Adam Longmore, but we'll start on the gridiron, where Valley City State hosted the number 3 ranked Morningside Mustangs on Saturday night. Rough first half for the Vikings, who trailed 43-0 at the break. Much better second half, though, as the Vikings kept fighting and outscored Morningside 14-13 in the final 30 minutes. 2 VCSU scores came on a pass from Curtis Walls to Antoine Griffin, and a touchdown run by backup QB Josh Hansana. Another big game for the freshman Griffin, who finished with 7 catches for 109 yards and 1 touchdown. Vikings are now 1-1 and open conference play this Saturday at Dakota State. 6 p.m. kickoff from Madison, South Dakota. Dakota State is 2-0. It's the first time they started 2-0 since 1993. Very big week for Viking golf as they picked up 2 tournament victories. We'll start in Devil's Lake, where the Viking men shot a .304 to win the Lake Region Invite last Wednesday. Freshman Kyle Wiebe took second with a 1/73 in his Viking debut. It was a sign of big things to come for Wiebe. Viking women also with a strong showing at the Lake Region meet. Both Nicole Heinitz and Nicole Mosselman shot under 100, and Heinitz took 4th place. We mentioned it was a big week for Wiebe, who went on to win the Bismarck State College Mystic Open on Sunday and Monday. A 2-over total of 146, shot 75 and 71 to follow up his 73 from earlier in the week. Viking men also won the Mystic Open with a team total of 616, 309 on the first day and 307 on day 2. Ben Sorensen and Jake Rickles both recorded top 5 finishes, shooting 157. Second straight year the Viking men have won the Mystic Open and had the medalist, and of course the second straight tournament the Vikings have won. On the women's side, Nicole Heinitz had a top 10 finish by placing 9th. Vikings are off this weekend before heading to Morris, Minnesota for the Cougar Invitational on September 18th. Jake Rickles took medalist honors at that meet last season. We have some women's basketball news this week as the Vikings made a new hire on the coaching staff. Matt Karlgaard has been named the top assistant coach for women's basketball and head coach Jill DeVries. Karlgaard replaces Lavessa Glover, who stepped down in August. Karlgaard is a VCSU alum and has worked the previous 7 seasons as both a student assistant and assistant coach for the Viking men's team. He began his women's basketball position earlier this month. Shifting to the diamond as we prepare for the Viking baseball season opener on Sunday, Vikings host Presentation College for a pair of 9-inning games starting at noon up at Charlie Brown Field. It is the second straight year VCSU will be playing fall baseball games that count towards their overall record in the spring. A solid core returns this year for Coach Casey Only, and a good group of recruits coming in has added some depth. You can read more about those recruits at VCSUVikings.com. After a week off, the Viking cross-country team will run its second meet of the season on Friday at the Randy Smith Invite in Moorhead. That meet is hosted by MSUM. It was a solid weekend for Viking volleyball, which went 2-2 at the Viterbo tournament in Wisconsin. Vikings picked up a pair of 5-game victories on Friday, knocking off both Haskell Indian Nations and Dakota Wesleyan. Vikings had been swept by Wesleyan just 1 week ago, so a big sign of improvement for VCSU. 20 kills by Barb Ector and 41 assists by Steph Miller, as they both had a big match against Wesleyan. On Saturday, Vikings ran into a pair of solid teams as they lost 3-0 to number 15 ranked Viterbo and also lost 3-0 to a very good Ashford team. VCSU now 4-9 on the season and is 4-3 over the last 7 matches. For the second straight week, Steph Miller was named the NSAA Setter of the Week. She averaged 7 assists per game during the week, so congrats again to Steph Miller. Volleyball is at the College of St. Mary's tournament this week in Omaha, Nebraska for 4 matches. Joined on this week's Vikings Update by Adam Longmore, head volleyball coach here at Valley City State University. Adam, your team playing some better volleyball lately. Started the year 0-6. I think you're 4-3 over your last 7 matches. Talk about the improvements your team has made.
Yeah, you know, our number 1 goal is just to get better. Every day in practice, I think every time we step on the court to play, you know, every opponent we play, our goal is to just be better than we were, you know, before we went in. So our girls have really done well at that. We're pretty organized in our practices. We're pretty specific in what we want to get better at while we're there, and they've done those things. And so, you know, yeah, we went 0-4 our first weekend, struggled our first day the next weekend, but we had a little chat and said, you know what, it doesn't matter. We're just going to get better, and there's lots of ways you can define success, and for us, we're defining success by improving, and that's what it's all about.
You guys have victories over Dickinson State and Dakota State, 2 conference opponents. That bodes well for the conference season. Also a clear-cut sign of improvement. 1 week after getting swept by Dakota Wesleyan, you went and beat them out in 5 matches. Just kind of what improvements did you make from in those 2 Dakota Wesleyan matches? What was the difference there?
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of different focuses depending on the day, depending on what it is we're talking about, but specifically defense and where we're playing defense, what we're looking at when we play defense. And that was kind of the big deal when we went into those matches on Saturday against Dakota State and Dakota Wesleyan. So you know what, let's dig more balls than the other team, and then if we can reduce our errors and if we can outdig our opponent and have less errors than our opponent, then we're going to be in a good position to win. And so that was kind of our goal going into both of those matches, and looking at the numbers after those matches, we won both those categories.
A couple of players who are playing really well. Obviously, you've seen a big improvement everywhere, but Allie Thoreau's been hitting pretty well the last couple of weeks. And your setter, Stephanie Miller, she was named the NSAA Setter of the Week last week. Talk about the play she's been doing lately.
Yeah, you know, Steph was really connecting very well with our hitters when we were down in Marshall. And so, you know, we've been running Steph and Megan both in the setting position and getting them both lots of experience, which we really need at this point. But yeah, Steph was connecting really well, so we decided to have her set all the way around, and we made that choice about halfway through the Dakota State match.
Right.
And that helped us to get that 5-set victory. And then yeah, a pretty good win against Dickinson State with her. So she struggled a little bit this weekend. You know, didn't set quite as well, which it just happens. But so we used Megan and Steph both again this weekend, and we'll see how the whole season goes. I'm sure both of those setters are going to play quite a bit. But yeah, Steph really had a great weekend down in Marshall. As far as Allie goes, you know, she's gotten so much better hitting wise. We've talked about she's lots better using her arms to help her jump. You know, the higher you jump, the better it is when you hit. And so she's using her arms better when she jumps. And if you notice her transition, she's just getting so much further off the net and further out of the court, which really helps her get big approaches to jump really well.
Okay.
So those are the 2 biggest changes she's made to really help her numbers get up.
Okay, Adam, appreciate the time this week here on Vikings Update. Good luck this weekend. You guys going to Omaha, Nebraska for the College of St. Mary's tournament, correct?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Adam, and good luck.
Okay, thanks.